At the end of 2024, beginning of 2025, I decided to hold a series of interviews in New Delhi. With my friend Aditya, I went to sit with my guests in their homes and talk while he filmed. Separate conversations with 7 inspiring women: Deepa Mehta, Supriya Dravid, Ambika Seth, Jyotika Jalani, Sonia Jahan, Ayushi Mehra, Karishma Jalani. The culmination of which I want to share with you. Each had a fierce understanding of context, fearless and led by their heart, but always mindful of their abundant intelligence. These are their fascinating journeys. Listen up. Welcome to the warmth and safety of the lighthouse. Ambika.
Hi, Samar.
It was difficult to lock you down for an interview. Okay, I'm very excited. Very happy to be in Khan Market. I mean, I've known you many
Yes.
years.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And since then you've become a mother. Could you please tell us your children's names and
So-
gender?
My 6-year-old is Azad, and he is a boy. I have 2 boys. My life, really. The best thing I've done so far is have them.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Tops everything.
But you manage both roles quite effortlessly. The mother and the entrepreneur. What says you're quite effortlessly? I mean,
You just gotta do it. You just gotta figure it out. And I guess one of the key things is being organized, like super organized, and just making sure that you have everything in place, and then it works.
yeah, distribution of. So for example, at home with your husband Rahul, who's also an entrepreneur,
Yes.
restaurateur.
Yes.
Do you divide chores? I mean,
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Rahul's responsibility as far as the kids are concerned, and as far as even just running the house is concerned, that's a job on its own.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we are very much both very hands-on parents, 50-50 involved.
Especially at that age,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, and irrespective, I think it's just,
No.
it's not like we've had a decision, like a talk, and we've said, you have to be 50-50. It's just,
No.
it's just
Comes naturally?
It comes very naturally.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a nice dynamic.
Yeah.
And usually he's the goofy one, and I'm
Goofy,
he's the one who really entertains the kids and like sports, and like, it's
I
just
see.
he's a fun one, and I'm the disciplinary.
So you're the bad guy?
Yeah, sometimes ish. Yeah.
It's better easy then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you thrive on symmetry, on structure. Okay, is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it reasonable for me to deduct that you thrive on routine
Yes, 100%.
at home and at work?
Yeah. So I try to chalk out. I like on Sunday to figure out what I'm going to do for the week. And it's this wonderful class that I have, and I do a aerobics class, and I've been doing it for the last 5 years, and I love it. I love the people. I love the
Stretching,
vibe.
actually.
No, full on cardio.
Full on cardio.
Yeah, but I love exercise came into my life a bit later, and I'm so glad that it did, because I'm addicted to it. With life being so busy that you have to have one thing that is yours completely, and that's just your time.
Yeah.
And I think that's got to be my exercise, and it's also weirdly got to be when I learned how to drive, and my
Why? What do you mean?
car and me sort of taking the car out, and my car itself is like my mini home.
Became your...
Yeah, it's like my sacred space.
But clean.
Yeah, of course. But like I have my music, I'm with my thoughts. I love to drive despite the chaos of the city. I really enjoy driving. So these are like, I don't know, these are just the small moments that you have to yourself, which I like.
Do you mind telling me a little bit about
Yeah.
where were you born and where you grew up?
I was born in Delhi. I had very much an Indian education here. I went to modern school, and my parents were not together since I was very young. But they both have played a very, very important role in my life. I have, touch wood, an amazing relationship with them independently. My mom is very much a mom, she's like your anchor, she's there for you, she's anything you need. My dad is definitely maybe more the critic in my life. and saw something in me that said that maybe I could do it, and maybe I had that entrepreneurial blood from him,
Right.
because his life is pretty much work, and till date he's 72, touch wood, and there's no slowing down, and you don't see that kind of zeal and passion in a lot of people, and it's incredible, and I think
It leaves a mark, no?
yeah, 100% leaves a mark, and I think I'm definitely very much inspired by him.
Was your time at EHL, EHL Lausanne, which is one of the finest culinary schools in the world, probably the best. Sorry, the best.
Yeah.
Was it crucial, the time you spent there? And tell me why EHL? And was it your first choice?
It was actually my parents that said, Ambika, you have some knack in you that you like to entertain, you like food, you like plating, you like to be in the kitchen. You have something to do with, there is something in you to do with hospitality, and why don't you consider hospitality? So I was like, yeah, I'm happy to consider hospitality, but I'm still going to America.
Parents saw that, no?
Sorry?
Parents saw that.
Yeah, they did, and they sort of sparked an interest in me. And then when I said I'm still going to America, they were like, well, you're really stupid, because the best university in the world is right here in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So I came up with a deal with them, and I said, I love Geneva, but it's not maybe the most vibrant.
Oh, you want it vibrant? No,
city.
Geneva is not.
And it's funny because back then,
I'm not saying anything against Geneva.
No. But back then, the love affair with Switzerland. Back then, it's funny. Today, if I could move to Switzerland, I'd move in a heartbeat.
Right.
So I really do love it. But my point was that for university, I thought I was going to go to some like action-packed city and all of this stuff, and it's very much part of the experience, right? Anyway, so I came up with a deal, and I said, okay, I'll try it for 1 year, and if I don't like it, I can transfer out. So I didn't apply anywhere else. It was the best university. It is.
They have so many in that area.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
La Roche.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and I didn't apply anywhere else. I applied to EHL. I had a terrible interview.
Okay.
I remember. No, I don't. I mean, why EHL? And at the time, actually, the question.
Why EHL?
The questions were a bit. I really don't remember.
Okay.
It was too long ago. But I remember feeling like I did really badly, and I walked out, and I told my mom was waiting for me at that lovely terrace that we had, and I said, I'm not getting in, so we'll have to look for alternatives. But obviously, it all worked out well, and I did get in. And
after how long did you were you told after that interview?
I think they told us 3-4 months afterwards.
Wow, that's a long
Yeah.
wait. No?
Yeah, but I had to be 18 to join.
Okay.
So I had to spend some time in Delhi before I joined. I did an internship here at the ITC before I joined.
Okay.
So I had time because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
young for it.
One of my favorite chefs. Okay, fine. Marco Pierre. He goes to train under the best chefs in France
Yeah.
to ultimately return to England, 3 Michelin stars, whatever, in his own distinct universe, infused with French authenticity. Caara has its own singular universe. That's a hallmark of a great restaurant. Is that something, coming back to HL, imbibed in you to pursue originality, or was it something you understood?
So, I think that the core thing about Caara and our values and our ethos is ingredients. It's sourcing. It's to question where your food comes from and to ensure that we give the best possible ingredients on the plate. If your ingredients are going to be shit, your food is going to be shit. And to link back to EHL, as far as my experience is concerned, I don't know, it's probably like a personality thing, but I was always drawn more towards the more sustainable hotel chains and the more eco-friendly ethos. And in fact, the first time EHL, they had a sustainability award the year that I graduated, and I got it. I was the first person to get this sustainability award, and I could donate an amount to. It was really nice. But the point is that something led me in this direction, and till date I wanted to actually open hotels, like I was saying, and then Caara happened. But the ethos still remains the same. It's the first question when I moved back to India was to start asking where your food comes from and how is it grown and who grows it and how are they looked after And it's very complex. But that's really thanks to all the wonderful other entrepreneurs that are doing.
Where is it sourced?
Yeah, it's people who are doing mushroom farming. They're making their own burrata. There's an amazing place in, and not only Delhi. I mean, across across cities. But that's thanks to the entrepreneurial spirit of these individuals who, like me, have said we need to have really great quality ingredients. So as far as Caara is concerned, our first thing is please try to source from here the best that we can, because we also want to support other people, and then where required you go global and you import.
Yes, certain ingredients.
Yeah, certain ingredients. So like for example, I won't compromise on Parmesan.
Okay.
Parmesan is Parmesan, but like for our cheese platter, we do a mix. We do some imported and we do some Indian, because there's some
amazing cheeses.
Fantastic stuff, So
that promotes the farmers as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's very important, and that's how Farm Love also came into play, which I'll tell you about.
And in India, which is primarily agrarian country, right? Did you meet a lot of farmers, and what important advice did you take away from them?
I came back wanting to start a hotel, and I was scouting for land. And I came across a piece of land actually in an area called Noon in Haryana. And you may know it because it's been on the news a bit for not necessarily being very stable. And so it's a bit of a tough area in Haryana to work. It's a bit unstable and also maybe not that safe. As I was exploring opportunities and stuff, within that area, I met some farmers by accident. And I decided to give them, so we have a farm in Basant Kunj as well, and we have some seeds that we were regenerating. So I decided to take those seeds and see how the soil reacted to it, because over there was there was no question of growing lettuce and Doloroso and basil, and these are all exotic / Vileti, as they call it, ingredients. So produce. So we did a little experiment and it worked beautifully. And then I started talking to them more, and I asked them. I said, "You know about chemical-free farming?" And I got into the whole thing about organic. And at that time, this is 12 years ago. At that time, organic was nothing over here. There was one or two people who were doing it, but it was really still very, very unknown. In
its infancy, yeah.
Yeah, and then when I started talking to the certification agencies, it was costing a bomb. I said, how can farmers, they don't have money to pay for this certification and then understand the business sense of getting this certification and then growing chemical-free, organic, and then how do the rates?
Whole system was very complicated?
No, it was complicated. So I said that, we don't have to put the stamp of organic. We will say chemical-free. We will build a brand. We will talk about the farmers, but more than anything, we will give them the rate that they deserve. Because with all the middlemen, they hardly got anything. I always told them that, listen, one day I'm not going to be here forever. So you guys need to figure this out and build this on your own. And you want to imagine, Samar, when you go back to these areas, they have built greenhouses, they do micro herbs, they do cherry tomatoes in the same places where I work. The same farmers saw how much potential this had, and they took the initiatives. They learned from whatever we taught them, and started.
The initial step was done, and look.
Yeah. So that was great. So now we actually only work within Basant Kunj, because we have a farms there as well. So we do grow. I'd say about 60-70% of our stuff is grown at the farms that come to Caara.
So I understand that you lived in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, in Vietnam.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
You were working for a company called
Yes, correct.
For resorts.
Yes.
Building resorts, right?
Yes.
So I was curious. You were exposed to their food.
Yeah.
Day in and day out.
Yeah.
Do you today still carry Southeast Asian cuisine to your heart? Something that impacted you in your menu?
So actually we have a little bit of Asian that we've actually recently introduced. I'd say in the last 1 year when we opened Dhanbin, it was the first time we experimented with putting a bit of Asian. And I'm not saying like quote unquote Asian, it was Asian flavors, but we created our sort of own dishes, but with some Asian flavors. But predominantly we're a European inspired cafe and restaurant. So I think my experience there, I love Vietnam.
Yeah.
I love the people, love everything about the country. And I loved my experience with Six Senses. In fact, the funny story is that I refused to work anywhere until I got a job with Six Senses, because it goes back to the fact that I saw the owner, ex-owner now, Shiv Dasani, come to our university many times and talk. And it was the same sustainable angle, same farm to table. So obviously that's impacted me somewhere. So all that has obviously trickled down to what I do with Caara. But in terms of cuisine specific, as much as I'd love to bring in some more Asian, and our Asian actually does very well on the menus, I don't think it'll overpower
What
the
kind
dish.
of accuse you of not being consistent in your ideas and your execution? Really?
Yeah. You gotta stick to.
You have to.
You can't waver.
You can't waver.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's difficult, but you can't waver.
Yeah, you can't waver.
What do you think is the enduring success, the secret to your enduring success? What could you attribute your Caara success to?
I think it's got to be, to start off with, from the outside, it's got to be my team and the wonderful, wonderful people that I have that work for us, and they really are a family. And if it's not for them, I would nowhere be able to create what we've created. I think it's got to be the loyalty of my customers and the fact that they keep coming back, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful for that. And consistently working your butt off.
Yeah.
Like working really hard.
Yeah.
I don't think you can slack. You can't have a day off. There is never a day off.
1 hour for aerobics.
1 hour for aerobics.
Bas.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Wow.
You got to be on it all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like a little baby. Actually, Caara is.
It's your baby.
It's my first baby. Yeah.
So the service and food debate thing. I'm always curious. Like if I go to a restaurant, the food is good,
Yeah.
but the service
Yeah.
is not up to the mark. I personally won't go back.
Yeah.
So more importantly for me personally is everything. Service is the
Yeah.
most important.
Yeah.
How you received, how you welcomed,
Yeah.
how you're
Absolutely.
entertained.
Yeah.
If the service was good
Yeah.
and the food was okay,
Yeah.
I'd still go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would be opposite.
You'd be opposite.
I feel like if the service was good and the food wasn't that great, I don't think I'd go back. But if the service,
It can't be terrible.
yeah, it was okay, yeah. But if it was like, oh, I really didn't have a really good meal, I don't think I'd go back. I think obviously
Caara combines everything.
yeah, but it's obviously not easy, and we make mistakes, and we do make mistakes, and like you said, it's not this or that, it has to be together. So actually one of the things that I focus a lot on in terms of my role within Caara is human resources, and is training, and is how to make training more effective. And you're also dealing with lots of different levels of people within the organization, from your steward to your initial commie line chefs to your operations manager. And people come and go, so the training has to be continuous. So that's something that I want to develop more, to see how to put together a really, really fail-proof effect. I mean, of course, we have a training program, but how to make that unbelievable.
One type of cuisine you could eat every day of your life. For me, it's Indian.
Indian is comfort food. It's like when you go for a holiday for 2 weeks, I can't wait to have like my chicken curry and rice when I come back home. So that's very much comfort food. But I'd still say that like my most go-to meal is my butter pasta.
Butter pasta?
Which is also for my kids.
Would you cook one day?
Sure. It's just butter pasta.
Very
It's
simple.
nothing special. But yeah.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to end with a few questions.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Okay, question number 1. Okay, night out with friends or night in with Netflix?
Night out with really good friends.
Acha, really good friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Jail for a night? In your case, it makes sense. Jail for a night or locked down for a year?
Locked down for a year.
What?
Yeah.
Your restaurant's not operating for a year. Why?
No, it's not that. I mean, we actually did like touch wood, we did
well?
not
No,
well,
what
but we kept it going, and we really worked hard to keep it going. Lockdown for a year only because it was the only time in my life that I think that I would have that kind of time with my kids.
Yeah,
and
true.
and really, I will never get that back. So that's
That's
why,
true.
being selfish.
Yeah, of course. You're at a fancy restaurant, right? And the waiter serves you cold soup.
Mm.
It's supposed to be warm.
Mm.
Do you A, let it slide, B, angrily demand an exchange, or C, add a hair to it? And you want your meal compliment.
No, I don't think I would ever. I'd never look out for a comp meal. It's just that I deal with it, right?
Sometimes I do.
I sometimes have to deal with it, but I never look out for a comp meal. I never get angry, to be honest. I think I would just request
Politely.
for them politely
Not angrily, politely.
to replace it. Yeah.
You're given the power to make one fast food item calorie-free. What would you choose?
Chicken nuggets. It's like deep fried chicken. It's not calorie free, and I love chicken nuggets.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But which McDonald's? Which country?
Switzerland.
Obviously.
Hello.
Okay, the top item on your bucket list. Something you want to do still.
You know, I actually want to
You
do.
have many.
I want to do a couple of things. So, I actually want. I'm not trained as a chef. I studied hospitality, not in the kitchen. I would love to go back and actually be trained as a chef. I want to be in the kitchen. I don't know. There's something I want to be in the
That's a
kitchen.
great-
Yeah. So that's one. I love to sing. I don't know how good I am at it, but I really love music in my life, and it sort of makes me
Have you
very
tried?
happy. So I'd love to join a choir. I'm not being like, I don't want to like be some professional singer or anything, but just for fun, I'd like to. Thank you. And I used to learn the piano. Actually, I used to learn the saxophone as well. So these are the three things that I
As a
wanna-
piano, I actually tried,
Yeah.
and I nearly fainted after the first lesson. You know why?
Why?
Because I had to read the notes.
Yeah.
I had to use my feet.
Yeah.
I had to use my right hand and my
Yeah.
left hand. I
Yeah.
fainted.
Yeah.
Too
It's
much.
not easy.
It's not easy.
But it's amazing. Like I dream that I can like play these like beautiful songs on it. Like in my head, I'm there.
Yeah.
I just need to like
So that's
actually
the thing.
get there. Yeah.
So sing.
Yeah.
Choir. That's a good.
Yeah, I know. It's really
Chef
random.
choir. Yeah.
Yeah, chef, choir, music. It's just
No, it's
things
not random.
in my life that I, at some point, want to do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Your children's favorite meal.
It's so
Last
funny.
question. Why is it random? No. Certainly.
My children
Favorite meal.
are like the worst. I try so hard to cook for them food, but they love their Indian food. And I'm hoping it's a phase, and I'm hoping that they will evolve their palate. But
they
right
can't,
now,
yeah.
right now, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And they never eat my food,
Yeah.
which sucks.
Oh, okay. Ambika, thank you.
Thank you.
For hosting us in your beautiful restaurant.
Thank you. I
Giving
hope
us
this
the
was
time.
fun.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't bore you with all my stories. Stop.
No, of course not. I'm so happy that you accepted. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Samar.